Hello, everybody, and welcome to 2026 podcast on Ask the Answer with myself, Adele, and today bringing in topics, all things to do with love, relationships, boundaries, and energetic intimacy, which I'm very intrigued to know more about. Let's welcome back Sherry, everybody.
Hi, Adele. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year in the Gregorian calendar, but the new year doesn't quite start yet, Adele. The astrological new year starts around end of March, which is the beginning of the zodiac sign of Aries. That's why it's the leader. It's the beginning, right? So a lot of things are going to be wrapping up. As you notice, you just started to share with me before we got on here about how you're feeling a little bit more earthy, more laid back and grounded and everything. You want to share real quick?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely pretty happy that the new year hasn't started astrologically, and I'm sure lots of people are as well, because it's sometimes a bit of a slow burner into January. It's a longer month. People are still recovering from Christmas and New Year. Kids are going back to school. You're trying to find your flow again, and very much the same. I almost feel like the rug's being pulled beneath me for me to literally stop, get grounded, sort your bits out and just to I've had so much car problems, internet problems, printer problems, but because of that and because I haven't been able to do anything, I've been going out for more walks, I've been doing more exercise, I've been prepping more for my work, doing prepping for my classes that I teach. And then also just enjoying some downtime, going to the spa because my car was in the garage and I couldn't go anywhere. So I thought, I'll just go to the spa for a few hours and just really taking stock of looking after myself, getting my vitamins in, water, and I feel more grounded than I have in weeks. So yes, there's definitely been lots of sorting out, even within the home, just still getting on top of things. So then I'm ready just to kickstart my year.
Well, thank you for sharing. That makes total sense because Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's groundedness. And a lot of the Capricorn season we're closing up, it's ending, next week. So it's coming to a close. So it's basically about laying the foundation of your next cycle. So the universe, God's source, is asking you to go in and take on these new habits because it's gonna be required for you to relax into your new phase, to be grounded.
And symbolically today, it's pouring down with rain. I had my raincoat on and I'm clearing out all the leaves from all the flower beds. I'm like, the new flowers are going to come through for spring. If I don't clear it all away, I need to get rid of everything that's blocking it.
Oh, I got the chills from my shoulders down to my arms. Like,
I was like, what are you doing in the rain? I went, I need to clear it. It's not going to grow.
Yes, it's also like reflective in your physical reality. That is how I also take the signs and you weeding out and getting clear to start that new foundation, one brick at a time, because we're in it for the long game. If something's going to be successful, same thing in a relationship, right? Or a business or a passion projects, creativity, humanitarian projects, you have to think long term. And the universe is setting you up for that. It sounds like, Adele, you're getting your ducks in a row and the universe is literally showing you how to come into this new cycle as we approach the new year, end of March and Aries season, with a regulated nervous system and getting grounded, getting your feet and bare feet on the ground in the dirt, like that.
Oh my gosh. You just said about the nervous system. I've literally been reading all about that the last few days. I've been having things come on my phone saying about I need to take care of my nervous system because I'm always in fight mode and I need to get out of the danger zone and have more of the calming and grounding. And that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to not be on edge all the time. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do this. And I've been reading about resetting my nervous system and resetting things in life.
Because that's the old version of you. You are exploring a whole new version of Adele right now in energy form, and universe guides us every step of the way. So the calmer you are, the quicker you're going to be able to read the signs, synchronicities, and the messages coming through as you are on your phone. Oh my God, do this, do that.
Wait,
like spirit literally is starting to lead you.
I don't want people to think I'm making this up. I'm literally going to show you a screen grab of me looking at your nervous system. So there you go. That was
4 on the clock.
That was all about the nervous system. That was just like a meditation. It was just like a thing that I was tuning into. But I was screen grabbing all the things about your nervous system. So when you just said it there, I went, I've been reading all about that.
And this is one of my specialties that I do with my clients on Ask the Answer on one-on-one sessions, Adele. So come for a session sometime. I do a lot
Yeah,
of sound healing and energetic healing over the phone. Of course, it's not the same as in person, but a lot gets done. A lot of breathing techniques that I share and
amazing.
different tools, ancient tools of regulating the nervous system. And
Love
that's
that.
going to lead me into, Adele. I'm just going to go ahead and start with Venus. We are going to head into Venus and Aquarius, right? We have the Venus is, again, just reminding the audience, is the planet of love, the planet of beauty, friendships, and harmony. And it's going to start, you're going to start to feel this Venus and Aquarius energy. If some of you might have Aquarius placements, it's going to be amplified. A lot of people have Venus and Aquarius, their love language in Aquarius, so it's going to make sense. So, and if you need further guidance on it, I can help you plug into your chart and tune in with in your reading with some tarot or whatever else spirit needs me to use. So in Aquarius, in body astrology, right, in anatomy, it goes beyond the muscles and the bones and the tendons. I think the parts of the body governed by Aquarius have to do with less bits and pieces, but more like fields of potential, meaning these like magic impulses that you might feel. You might feel flashes of aliveness, like you're kind of feeling that electricity. Aquarius is a future electric energy that's how I resonate with it, right? And it's this aliveness, this awareness that makes us human. It's like, and you could feel it a lot. There's the primary rulership of Aquarius energy, astrologically in the body, deal with the ankles, the shins, and the calves. And you can't make this up, because my friend yesterday just texted me. I do some work for him and his wife, and they said that her husband, strained his calf muscle. As we're entering, Venus
My
into
son
Aquarius.
said it last night. Mum, my calves hurt.
Oh, so
I
I got
kid
the
you not.
chills.
I kid you not. He did. He said, "Oh, my calves are really tight."
Yes. So you can't make this stuff up. It's like that you feel, especially sensitive beings, we're gonna feel it in our bodies in different ways. And this is where it's also like Aquarius is associated with the circulatory and nervous system, as you were experiencing with that text, right? So
Right.
it's in the bodies, it's about oxygenation, circulation, and sometimes it could be associated with extremities, impulses. Like I said, electric signaling and reflexes occur in our body, astrologically in the body. It's amazing. Like, you can't make this stuff up. So I want to talk a little bit real quick about Venus and in Aquarius in its unconscious expression in a lower frequency, right? It could have a certain energies function on a lower self-defeating habit, meaning like this desire to want to make things so exciting, like overstimulating, in that could result in a tendency to withhold your true gift of Aquarius, of Venus in Aquarius, which objectively you can use your understanding of the way you function in love and relationships with loving acceptance. So if it's indulged in that lower unconscious expression, what happens is you could end up in a series of shallow, chaotic, and scattered relationships, whether
Mhm.
this be love, business, work, right? So you have to kind of tweak this, and eventually this path, if you don't if you use the pretext of universal love, which is the expression of Venus and Aquarius for humankind, as an excuse to neglect the closeness, going beyond surface level in relationships, it's going to lead to a haunting realization of why you detach. It's going to show you, until you wake up from it, the inability and the unwillingness to relate to anyone on a deeper personal level. Does that make sense, Adele?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I want to talk, on the other hand, in its conscious expression, is where one can experience the joy and the exhilaration of coming into contact with others, when you're willing to show and share love of your unique gifts, especially if you have Venus in Aquarius, of loving in an impartial way, no matter how intimate or personal a relationship may be. You have the ability to retain your sense of individual freedom, and that's what Aquarius likes. It needs to be able to be free.
Hmm.
Like a Venus and Aquarius, if people have that in their chart as their primary love language, they want to marry their bestie. They want to be
Hmm.
sure they could talk to you about all areas of life. And I've
Yeah.
always heard that expression for myself, throughout my life. Periodically I would get messages like that: you're going to marry your best friend, right? Like, and
Hmm.
I said, ooh, that sounds amazing. You want to be able to be your authentic selves with one another and be able to hang out. If you could become besties, then you're going to make the best lovers. I just truly personally believe in that. But
And that's like
maybe.
with my husband, and I mean, we sometimes say it about other people that, without obviously, judging other people, but there are lots of couples that we know that won't go out together or do things together, do things very separately. And if they are on their home, they're always inviting people around all the time. Whereas, me and my husband were like, we're going out, we want to go out together because we enjoy one another's company. And we're quite happy just being on our own. We don't have to invite friends to come out with us. We have a good time just as it is, years on. And we just say that's always been quite nice that we were friends first before we got into a relationship. So we had that ground and that foundation first.
I mean, exactly. Like that's 11:11 on the clock when you said that. That's you're so in tune. So when one doesn't abuse their freedom, through this eccentric, because Aquarius is eccentric, energy. It could you could guarantee your independence, and attract people that are more equal, that are willing to be your equal, right? So you
Mhm.
can eliminate the possibility of your dependency through that person's independence. So you
Yeah.
want to, on a higher expression, you will attract more independent, sovereign energy to you, and they will respect your freedom. They will respect your ability as air. Air is free. It can't be
Because you're
contained.
respecting theirs.
Yeah, it can't be contained. They cannot be told, oh, what to do or where to go. Like they need to be free, right?
Yeah.
So those with Venus and in Aquarius in the next 3 weeks, Adele, you could notice that, not just in relationships, but apply this energy to opportunities, right? You could receive more compliments in what you do, or in relation, what again, in love, home, whatever this is for everybody on an individual level. More dating opportunities. As we also approach Valentine's Day, so that makes total sense, right? In the Matrix 3D world, right? And it's just gonna amplify. Venus in Aquarius is gonna amplify the ability to connect with more people. And for the rest of us that are not in relationships, we're going to experience more certain transformation in our desires, such as whether it's relationships or our pursuits, what we're working on, things that generally feel attractive to us might change.
Hmm.
Right. So that's something to take note of. So pay attention to that. Are you getting that with the Aquarius yet? Because we tend to feel things a little earlier before the transit starts to take place.
And just that doesn't necessarily have to be with your loved one. That could just be with,
No.
in like your friendship groups and stuff like that. Because funny enough, I made a post yesterday about one of my school mums, and she also comes to the gym where I work. And I did a post say about how she made me laugh, and I called her my friend, and she posted, "Thank you so much for calling me your friend." And I was like, "What? You are like you're not just an associate. We talk and we say hello and we message. Of course, you're my friend."
See, I'm so curious where your chart is. So if next moving forward, I'm gonna pull your chart and like refer to it during our podcast sessions, because I want to know, because it's reflecting for you, right? So
Yeah.
there's gonna be also this Saturnian Saturn planet of discipline and structure, right? And routine. There's gonna be a little bit of aloofness, because Venus in Aquarius is aloof. It's like it's hot and cold almost, like, and people in my readings this week are noticing that in their partners, like, what's up? He or she was so gung-ho and communicative, and all of a sudden pulling back. Like, it can
Okay.
cause that type of energy within connections, whether it's platonic, romantic, or other, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we could become a little bit more detached, a little bit more cautious when we express our feelings at this time, because Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius, and it's the sign. Aquarius is the sign that changes this planet, this world for the better. So it's here to Saturn's here, going to aid us in using the Aquarius energy to destroy old structures, belief systems, like
Yeah.
you're going through right now in what to pursue what you love, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
think of it in terms of energy and archetype, right? Um, before I get into some, I pulled some, meditated over some cards, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about some dates. On January 19th, January 19th, Venus conjoins Pluto.
Mhm.
So, which could increase passion in healthier relationships, but in weaker relationships, it could bring on challenges, right?
Okay.
And it needs to happen for it to evolve. So it could bring up in weaker relationships, it could bring up power struggles, obsessiveness, jealousy, and there's this tendency to be uh, to fall for more toxic people. So be aware of this energy, starting tomorrow, to be honest. So
Mhm.
3 days before and 3 days after, right?
Mhm.
And then on the 29th, something to pay attention to, Mercury conjoins Venus, helping us communicate better to what we're creating in our relationships, partnerships, friendships, coworkers. Conversations are going to enhance in a creative way whatever you're pursuing. This is like the best time to bring that forth. But
Mhm.
again, in weaker relationships, connections, shakeups could happen, right? Where it's going to force the toxic patterns to for you to look at and end, and it's going to, how do I say this? It's going to upgrade it so that it becomes healthier, or you're just going to cut it off until you feel that person is ready to align with you on a higher frequency.
Okay.
So the best advice to handle Venus and Aquarius is to stay open-minded, embody that Aquarius energy of being open-minded, flexible and future oriented. It could be really helpful for us at this time.
I'm writing all down.
Right. So now I'm going to get into the cards, and the best way to do this was to I kind of asked Spirit to show me for singles, right? I pulled a row for singles, clarifiers as well. For singles, those in a relationship, starting a relationship, in a fuzzy relationship, right? And those in a healthy relationship and that are thriving in the direction of that. So whenever people listen to this, hopefully this will come in handy at that time that you're needing to hear it, because time is doesn't exist in energetic and spirit world, right? You'll hear this message exactly when you need to hear it. And hopefully this reading will help you plug in the energy and help you advance or evolve your energy so that it could influence your relationship to the highest expression in love.
Mm.
That's my dream when people hear this. So for people that are single, um, there's a lot of like earth energy with the and earth and water with the chariot. We're moving past the water energy and earth. We're moving more towards air, which is expression, movement, right? The past couple months, I'm going to say 7 months, for people that are single, you're starting to take more control. And even if you are in a relationship, I'm talking about your independent self. Adele,
Mhm.
so it could apply to you as well. Like you
Mm.
started moving forward, started becoming more decisive these past 7 months. You're not feeling rushed anymore. You don't want to be rushed. Your nervous system is not allowing you to,
Okay.
and you're heading towards adventure. You're finding peace when you're driving. You're finding peace when you're weeding. When you're finding peace when you're in your joy, when you're baking. Like there's a lot of uploads, downloads, and transmissions that are coming through for you. That cause you to be more passionate about life, right? And you're
Mhm.
transmuting a lot of possessiveness. You're being practical, and anything Aquarius on a lower frequency can be stubborn energy, just like I with the body astrology, as I said, it can you could be strained. You could be it's your body like reminding you, hey, stretch a little bit more, be a little bit more flexible, be a little bit more limber,
Mm.
right? Because Aquarius is air, it needs to flow.
Yeah.
So, um, I think this for independent energy, whether you're in a relationship or not, but mostly for people that are single in relationships, that silence, I even pulled the card of silence. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
22 is a master number. So you could be seeing that number at this time. Some of you could be moving to a new address that is 22, and that's my address, 22 right now. So you're able to think more
Mm.
before you respond,
Yeah.
and not reacting. A lot of people are noticing this, like I could overcome this difficulty. I don't have to respond right now to this toxic person or energy around me. I could think about it, or ignore, or just, you know, space it out.
Yeah.
Like, just there's a lot of more. I'm gonna tune this energy of frustration that I have towards this person or this situation or this job or this relationship, or just you in general, and how you relate to the world if you're independent and single, right? It's like I'm gonna move forward and take the energy and use it towards my inspirations. Kind of like what you're doing. You're like, it's almost like you don't have time for it, the
Mm-hmm.
drama,
Mm-hmm.
because things are going to start to move quick and elevate. For those that have been planting the seeds like you have, Adele, in the past 7 months, the sprouting is going to start to bloom, just like the season of spring coming in, right? So it's all reflected. Whatever's inside is going to reflect on the outside, and you're going to be able to appreciate the beauty of that silence, of the building, of how you have been dealing with adversity, and not taking vengeance, and not feeling you have to do things to fix things. You just more allowing universe to show you, and allow what's falling away to fall away.
Yeah.
So that's for singles. Did you resonate with any of that, or have any questions?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it's all making sense. And just symbolically as well, as I was mentioning, obviously lots of things have been stopping me from being in that fast lane all the time. And even just with relationships with, I set up the clothing range. Well, last year I set the foundations, and then the person that I've been in contact has gone aloof. They've gone quiet. They haven't been getting back to me. But then I'm also thinking, well, actually, that's quite good, because I haven't got time for it at the moment. I've set the foundations. I'll come back to it when I'm ready. And now when you mentioned about that January the 29th, Mercury and Venus, might be the time then I reach out and get back in touch and say, hey, let's just reconnect.
Yes.
I'm now in a good place. I've cleared out what I need to. We're now good to go. Because Christmas, New Year, and now I haven't had time for it. But I still want to keep going with it. But
Yes.
And again, maybe he's stepped away, and maybe that's been the right thing for it to do, because I wouldn't have had time, and I wouldn't have had the money, and I wouldn't have had the energy. So maybe, again, that's a blessing in disguise.
Yes, exactly. There's time. I believe in timing for everything. I
Yeah.
just believe in that. And it's good that you put it on your calendar, just like, or that person might reach out to you. You may not have to
Yeah.
initiate. It's just like gonna organically flow. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna move more towards those that are in beginning of a relationship, friendship, a passion project. It doesn't have to just be love, but because we're talking about relationship, apply it to your situation. We got the Page of Cups. So Page of Cups is the most immature energy in tarot, right? It's the beginner's mind. It's somebody who is almost like a teenager, the way they look at life and love through the lens of a teenager, like just more youthful,
Yeah.
more creative, like always looking for the positive, right? But not really having the experience to ground and back it up yet. Like they
Yeah.
lack experience and wisdom still. So
Mm-hmm.
that approach, that energy, is going to help relationships goals at during this time, if you use it, if you start to get curious about it or suggest something. Page of Cups sometimes is an offer. Someone can say, hey love, let's go try sound bath healing. Let's go for that ceramic class. Let's go for whatever it may be, aerial class, let's try this together, or let's take an art class. Like it could be something like that, where the introverts could be becoming a little bit more extroverted, with the Page of Cups energy, and doing more of what you enjoyed when you were younger, when you were in high school. Those projects, those daily habits of whatever, journaling, keeping a calendar, maybe make a vision board together, right? It's artistic, it's intuitive, it's focused, it's more creativity you're bringing into your passion project if you're single, into your relationship if it's new. If it's a toxic relationship, maybe explore that part of yourself and take space from the connection, and do a weekend staycation. Lock yourself in the room and make yourself a little spiritual spa for the weekend, and do all things that can nourish your soul. And if you need support with that, you know where to find me, and ask the answer. So witness, I got the card witness, and that's 44. It's also another magical number. Anything that comes in doubles and triples is pretty powerful, and we'll talk about that on another podcast sometime. But being the witness, start to observe, you know, like in that sacred space of your inner world. It starts that way. Like you'll be able to, through silence, witness what's going on an internal level, and you'll be able to heal things that you didn't know were repressed, because they'll start to come up when you start to sit in silence. And a lot of your questions could be, you could answer your own questions as you become the observer, and just allow, like, sacred witnessing. I want to call it, right? Sacred witnessing, like, okay, this is happening in my relationship right now. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to express my frustrations, my sadness, my loneliness. And before I speak, I'm going to start to tune into whatever the things that we just talked about in as a Page of Cups would do, right? Maybe you might want to, some of you, I feel, might start to change your wardrobe. Some of you might want to start making your own clothes. Some people might want to spend time by the water. Some people might want to go fishing. It, however that is, it nurture those things, and focus on those things that bring you joy, because that's where gratitude and miracles and opportunities you start to see. It's not that opportunities come in, it's because you start to align with that frequency of joy, and you start to see what's always been there for you on a higher expression. But when you're in a lower expression, when you're in your doubts, fears, anxiety, and insecurities, it's very hard to see those opportunities.
Yeah.
Any questions on that energy, or did anything hit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's good to, again, even by just listening to you, to make you aware, because with that energy around you, if you are quite busy and you're like shits in the night, you don't have time for one another, and then you're suppressing how you're feeling and not communicating, just making it more important, the fact to take that time out to do the things that you love and the things that you do enjoy together, to keep that bond and to keep that connection through some maybe busy times or challenging times, or if you're both working lots, just to home in on that, and just listening to you, being aware of maybe, okay, just take some time out for one another and have that time. It might not be, hours. It might just be an hour of lunch or an hour walk or a 20-minute walk. It could be the smallest thing that could make a difference, just keeping you together, not together,
exactly.
But, ongoing. Yeah.
I agree 100% there, Adele. It's a Page of Cups is about enhancing your self-expression in the world. Transmute the energy and write about it. Write about what you're going through. Do some poetry, do some reading. Embrace these quirks, because people don't pay attention to them enough. They think that it's actually a weakness when it's not. Those are your gifts. Those little quirks that make you a unique and a vital force in this world. People need to tune into that, right? And go if it calls you to go down the rabbit hole, then go down it, right? Like, take that time, and that's where you activate your guides, your spirit team, your angels, your galactic guides, is stepping more up into our truths in who we are. And in that space, you tend to activate a creative potential that was always there, but you're just turning it on, and you start to see the pieces and how it, like, fits into this one whole big picture of what can I offer to the world? How could I be of service? How can I serve? Like, how can I use my quirks to bring truth, to bring order, to bring love into the world more? Like, that's, I feel, it's subtle. These are in like nuances. These are intuitive hits and working, not just like allowing people to influence our goals, but like more of an internal take space for
Yeah.
yourself. So that's where I'm going to leave that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to move on finally to people in relationships. And if this could be, if you're not in a romantic relationship, this could be for people who are co-creating with other people, other, you know, or it could be both. Apply the energies. This is just energy. So Four of Pentacles in the reverse is a great card to have in the reverse. Why? Because it means that you're letting go of control of what was once stable and really didn't bring in much anymore. Like maybe at one point you built your success and it got stagnant. So that's move. It's like these blocks are starting to lift within yourself. Because you're moving forward through any rigidity. You're not holding on too tightly to where you are. You're allowing yourself to expand in these next 4 months, right? In your relationships, you're becoming more adaptable, more flexible, analytical in a grounded way. You're becoming more communicative. You're becoming more intellectual, fluid. You're educating yourself more. Opportunities and resources are going to open up, right? With in these next 4 months, with the in the upright, it's like he's holding on tight to what he's built. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Like greedy materialism, and like it keeps you stuck because then you're just running the day-to-day routine of the rat race and paying your mortgage. You're working just to pay your bills. That's not living.
No.
Some may feel trapped. They don't know any other way. So that's going to be coming to the forefront for people who are more open-minded. If you use the Venus and Aquarius energy and embody that archetype, it'll help you. So yeah, a lot of like just things flowing, a lot of things adjusting better to circumstances. And then I pulled an astrology card, the House of Gemini, the Lover's card in tarot. This has a lot to do with your childhood, what you learned, what did you learn in childhood about relationships with people in general, not specifically romantic, right? Like it's you're going to want to listen inside to what you believed in before a lot of the ingraining, a lot of the indoctrination came through school, community, family expectations, societal, all of that stuff. You're going to start to, like step more into individuation.
Mm-hmm.
What part do you play? This is aligning with what it is that you love the most and starting to take those and transmute those things and to apply it into how you can serve humanity. So I chose, the path of the esoteric arts and healing, through healing my own trauma as I went through death and rebirths in the past couple of years. And I chose the path to do psychic reading, spiritual work. This is the path of how I know I'm in alignment with one of my soul contracts to help people through this platform here, and I work a few others, and I do other things. I wear many hats. And that's what Aquarius energy is. The Aquarius energy is in tarot is depicted in the star card. It's a beautiful card. I would love to see if I could quickly find it for you while I'm talking, but it's us like expressing ourselves in our multifaceted, like a diamond. Like we're not just here to work one job for the rest of our lives. We're here to take our God-given gifts and 33 on the clock, as I said that. So and express that into the world, right? Like, and some people are going to feel a little bit like closed off with it. They may do it behind the scenes because it's uncomfortable. Like you're not used to your creativity coming through because you've been in the robotic life. You've been living that day to day, just to maintain your status quo, right? And the universe is not going to allow that anymore, for people that have been fixed in their ways and their ways of thinking, living, and being in these next 4 months. So expect relationships to upgrade, expect power couple dynamics to come through, expect creative ventures both individually and as a couple. Like expect these things to start coming through as you open up your mind a little bit more and end those old cycles, and one thing at a time. One thing at a time, or two things.
Yeah.
Some people are good at balancing two things. You're good at two things that will are paving the way to bring you natural abundance and stepping into that creative power, Adele, which you keep enhancing through this through your podcast. I mean, you're
Yeah.
growing, and you're going to be so in alignment with your purpose as a humanitarian worker, helping other light workers, and giving us that confidence to speak and share our gifts is a gift in itself, and that's how the universe is going to continuously build that 401k for you by
Yeah, yeah.
helping. It's using your life, right? And the perks of being able to be independent, be with your children, your husband, be there, run the household, still have space to follow your passions. Like, what is that like for you as you build yourself using creativity?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's what I've always really enjoyed. And I feel that, maybe the last sort of few months I've been spinning so many plates because I've been planting so many seeds that, like, whatever you've been mentioning today, I've now had that point where it's actually, trying to stop and make me have a bit of time to myself and nurture myself and have that space to think, and yeah, just to have that nice balance. And I've found that sort of the last few weeks. And I've been waking up every morning, I feel so good. And my husband's like, what's got into you? And I'm like, I don't know, I just feel really good. I'm eating well, I'm getting good sleep. I just feel really charged up, and there's been lots of things around that haven't been going smoothly. Like I said, my car's been broken down. I've had to jump start it most days. The printer hasn't been working, but it's all things that it can wait. It can get sorted. But by things aren't working, it's stopping me from spending money, going shopping, doing the chores. I've had to just be grounded and just do things that are making me feel a bit more wholesome. So it's had that knock-on effect. But all the creativity sides come through. This week I did a whole disco diva theme in my spin class. They went, my boss said, why are you doing that? I went, because it's a longer month and I want to keep people upbeat. It's January. Why not? Let's bring in some disco diva
I
flavor
love it.
class.
I
And we will
love
be
it.
dressing up this week for no reason, but I just want to express myself, just want to have fun
Yes.
with them. So, that side coming through just to lift that energy if people are feeling a little bit flat at the moment. So yeah, just
Yes.
sharing my energy with people.
Exactly. And the advice card I pulled was mystery. So it's you trusting the mystery of life to be able to transform any darkness in our minds that could manifest as doubt, fears, anxiety. What if you were to, leave this all behind and start fresh? And
Yeah.
that's where you have to work on trusting the mystery of life, and that you will be provided for, as we're both exhibiting in our own personal
Yeah,
lives. We're leading by example,
yeah, I
right?
never panic. I never worry. I just think it's happening for a reason. And when you look at life in that way, and that's not being, silly or stupid about things. Of course, you're still, clued up on what's going on around. But if you look at things so differently, life can be so much more smoother and gentle. And, I could be getting really stressed out and worked out that, I can't print off a form for something, or that I can't get my car started. But I haven't. I'll be like, oh, but it is what it is, and just going with it. And as I mentioned, because I've been feeling so energetic, I'm passing on my energy to other people. And I just feel that it's just been a massive, big reset, coming into January. It's a big reset.
Yes.
Yeah, and just trusting in the universe that these things that are happening, that are blocking me or stopping me, are all meant to be for me to sort out other things.
Yes, and I mean, I'm a little bit more extreme in the way that I live my life, where I take a lot of risks,
Mhm.
and something just tells me to not go backwards,
Yeah.
keep going. Like, I've built this. I cannot really describe, and I don't need to explain to people who project their fears into the way I'm living my life. Like, that's not stable. Well, if you really think about it, nothing in life is stable. It could feel stable when you're doing the same thing every day and going to the same job every day. But when
Mhm.
you're especially with me recovering from a dysregulated nervous system, adrenal fatigue. I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I'm on another trajectory where I'm healing from all of those things and recovering from it, holistically, that is.
Mhm.
And of course I integrate some scientific methods as well, but I believe that the body heals itself, and especially if you learn to regulate your nervous system, which controls all the other systems, you're good. And it's a daily maintenance. This is not something you do once a week. This is where I choose to live my life so that I can make time to pray in the morning, work on my affirmations, work on yoga, work on breath work on meditation, like, and then prepare my breakfast, prepare for my talks. Like, I own my time in that sense. And the more I notice that I heal my nervous system, the more I feel God, source, universe keeps showing me signs to just keep relaxing. Every time I start to stress, Adele, or worry, what happens is I get an invite for a weekend. I get an invite to come for brunch, go off to eat, or I get invited to a spa. Like, everything just says no, like, have fun, even with all the stuff going on, where the old me would be like, oh, I can't right now. I'm going through so much stuff. I'm not in the mood. I would let my mood affect me, where now I'm able to discern and detach from a situation where people are caught up in their own loops, and I'm not going to let their energy affect my moments of joy and miracles that are pouring in and through invites. Right. I'm gonna go on that weekend trip or that vacation or that retreat. I'm gonna take the invite to go and try a new class, like, or that spa. I literally got a gift card to a spa, so I said, okay, oh, that's what I'm meant to be doing soon. And I plan on using that.
100%. Yeah.
So you
the better
get
we
that
feel,
too,
the better
right?
we perform, the better person we are. So absolutely, you're always looking after ourselves and what we need. Yeah. And then if you're not, the universe will do that for you in some way, or make you in some way.
Yes. I don't want to share before we wrap this up. I know we don't have much time, but on a personal note, my brother got into a pretty major freak accident. He was untouched. He is alive and well, nothing broken, and he was at the gym the next day or same day, because when he showed me the video, what happened was he was heading southbound and the big truck on the opposite side was heading northbound. So that big truck was in the acceleration lane and hit a big sign, and that big sign totaled my brother's car. And he he doesn't even know how he got into the curb, because he said, I don't know how I got there because there were so many cars around me. So if he was in the acceleration lane, he was forced to go into that lane. And I don't know how he saw if that thing hit his car. I don't even know. I can't. That's where we're able to trust the mystery. And now my brother is being forced to go within and reassess.
Yes.
That this is not working anymore. Something's not working. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And I pray for him that he gets it. This introvert period for him he's a Virgo, so he does that pretty well on his own. And I pray that bigger opportunities come where he doesn't have to be so on the go anymore.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. Well, I'm glad he's okay. Well, it's been so lovely speaking to you, Sherry, as always, and so much synchronicity and just so much alignment all in that podcast, but great knowledge as well to everyone else that's listening about relationships and boundaries and looking at specific dates that are coming up that we can work with that energy so things can, run smoothly, or we can hopefully bring new things in. It all sounds very exciting.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Ourselves.
Yes. Thank you so much, Adele. Yes.
I love it. Now, Sherry, if people want to come through and speak to you on the phone lines for a more personal reading, what's your PIN number?
Sure, it's 500-640, and I'm looking forward to hearing from new and old clients.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Sherry. Thank you very much, listeners. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.